So if we cross over onto the other side street and go into the covered arcade, there's a little bit of a secret I want to show you guys. So I've lived in the area of Asakusa here for the last 10 years or so. And since I'm moving out, I thought today would be a good time to give you guys a full tour of the area. And while it might be difficult to show you guys the entire area, what I'm gonna do today is turn the camera around and show you as much of this area as I possibly can. Let's get started. So right in this area, there's actually 3 stations that give you access to Asakusa. There's the Ginza line, the Asakusa line, and over here there's the Tobu Skytree line. This right here is the Tokyo Cruise building. A lot of people don't know, but you can actually take a boat from Asakusa to Odaiba or vice versa. These boats will also take you to places like Hamarikyu, or there's night tours. With the building right there, you usually get on the buses right down here. Right here is the ever famous view of the Skytree and the Asahi building. Now this building here is supposed to look like beer with foam on top, and this right here is, well, a lot of people just call it the golden poop. Let me know what you think in the comments. This area here along the river has always been one of my favorite places to just sit and relax and decompress, especially after shooting a video. This particular boat here goes to the Hamarikyu Gardens, which is a beautiful garden located fairly centrally in Tokyo that has almost no people in it. And the area up here along the river is a very, very popular cherry blossom viewing spot. When walking through Asakusa, it is not uncommon to be lucky enough to see something like a Japanese wedding going on as well. In this building right here, there's actually a company called Tokyo Kitchen, which will enable you to do like cooking lessons and learn how to cook some cool Japanese food. And there's a beautiful bamboo grove along here as well. If you make your way a little bit further down the river, there's actually cafes and whatnot over here. And I actually used to play shamisen at night right there. And if you come down even further, there is a kids park here, but I actually wanted to show you these art installations, which were put here solely to point towards or showcase the Skytree. In fact, this tube here is kind of interesting. You can see the Skytree from inside it. So you can actually stick your head in here, and there's like a little grate where you can see the Skytree. You can kind of see it during the day, but it looks a lot better at night when the Skytree is all lit up. If you continue down the river just a little bit more, you'll get more cherry blossoms, and there's a sports center over there. And to the left of it, there's actually a hidden cherry blossom park that almost nobody knows about. I'm gonna link a video right up here. Now the river area alone is nice enough that you could probably spend a whole day here, but let's head back into the main area of Asakusa so I can show that to you. Hi, nice to meet you.
I'm a huge fan.
No way.
Thank you so much for stopping.
No, thank you.
We saw last week about the secret sakura spot.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to go check another one out.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing.
So thank you.
No, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That was a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna get back to it. Also, Purple Train. This one's my favorite.
Oh my God.
Also, from time to time, especially during Hanami season, along the river they have vendors for food like yakisoba over there. And as we get back closer to the station area, there's a ton of restaurants and izakaya Japanese bars here. One of my favorite places to eat being Ichiran, which is a ramen shop that allows you to customize your noodles and have private dining experiences. I'll link a video. And right on the corner here you'll find Kamiya Bar, which is not only one of the best bars in Tokyo, but it's also one of the oldest. This is one of the only buildings remaining in Asakusa from after the war. And while it is a pretty good place to eat, it's actually really well known for this right here, which is called Denkibran. It's in-house alcohol, which is sweet and rather interesting. I recommend this. And right in front of Kaminarimon you will find the Tourist Information Center, which actually has one of the best views of Asakusa. Let's go in and I'll show you. Now there is a cafe up here, but the real attraction is the viewing deck. It gives you a gorgeous view of the area of Asakusa, including the Nakamura Street and the temple. And depending on the day and time, this place can get kind of popular, but as you can see behind me, it is not a super crowded spot, so it's a nice area to check out. Also, this place has a lot of other stuff to show. I'll just show one or two of them. Let's take the stairs down. The 7th floor has a bit of an exhibition space, and the 6th floor has a multi-purpose room which has like a theater and performance space. Every now and then they're showing little films here, or you get to watch live Japanese performances here, which is kind of amazing. I really like this space. And the 2nd floor is just plain beautiful. In fact, if you're not adverse to stairs, I highly recommend taking the stairs up and down because the elevators can get kind of crowded. So next, let's head right into the main area of Asakusa, starting with Kaminarimon and the Nakamura shopping street. I don't really think this area needs an introduction, but at the same time, things wouldn't be complete without it, so let me show you quickly. Now, the Nakamura shopping street is incredibly popular. It leads all the way up to Sensoji Temple up there. And a little bit of a pro tip, if you do shopping here, go more for food than the souvenirs, unless you can't find them anywhere else. Almost just as interestingly as Nakamura Street are the streets that are on the sides. Let me show you one of them over here. Now, the side streets are filled with tons of little shops. One that I really like is this one here, which sells tumblers that are made out of gorgeous kimono material. Look at this. I've never seen a tumbler like that anywhere. Each one of the side streets is also just jam-packed with little shops, restaurants, you name it. For example, this shop is really popular for something called Melon Pam, and it's always lined up. And this place here called the Sekai Cafe is known for having halal and vegan, vegetarian options. And right down here is one of my favorite places to meet locals in the area of Asakusa called Rastaman's Cafe. This place is really good. You can make lots of friends here. One of the popular local foods in Asakusa is called okonomiyaki. This place is really good for it here. Also, in Asakusa, you'll find a lot of these little streets like this that line up really beautifully with the sky trees so you can get amazing pictures. These little streets are and always have been one of my favorite things about the area of Asakusa. Let's keep going. And about 60 meters or so from the Kaminarimon area, you'll find this street here, which is called Shin Nakamise Dori, and it's a covered shopping arcade. It would take me an entire day just to show you all of this. There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Shops, restaurants, you name it. Before we continue on, I want to show you this Age Manju place right here, which is right on the corner by Shin Nakamise. This shop sells Age Manju, which are little fried manju that have like bean paste inside of them, and they're pretty cheap. They're like $1. This place is really good. I recommend it. Alright, this area is really crowded. Let's get back to the side streets. So if we cross over onto the other side street and go into the covered arcade, there's a little bit of a secret I want to show you guys. Now, be forewarned that this isn't the best of hidden spots. In fact, it kind of stinks, but if you like hidden spots, it's right over here. As you get to the end of the arcade here, you'll see this little tunnel right here. But this tunnel leads to an entire underground world of little shops and restaurants and osake and you name it. But even better yet is what we find when we get to the other end down here. As we come around this corner over here, there's an exit. Now, there's a cheap little ramen shop right in front of the exit with ramen for like 380 yen. But it's what the exit leads to. You see, the exit leads you to that area where we almost started at, near the station. So if you come out of the station and you want to avoid the rain, you can just, let me show you, it actually connects directly to the Ginza line. So if we go this way, just past the ramen shop, that's actually entrance to the Ginza line right there. Just realized it feels kind of creepy down here sometimes. Oh, and the sake place was Ninja Bar with a burnt out neon sign. So coming back out of the entrance we went into, we're gonna go this way and then turn right. You'll find yourself on this street here, which oddly enough is usually not this crowded, but you want to go ahead into this tiny little space here. Let's head over there. So this is the street here. So on the right side, you're gonna have the Tokyo Skytree. On the left side, you're gonna have Nakamura. and you want to head right in this way. Now, if you like kai sendon, which is basically sashimi on a bowl of rice, this place is really good, and the owner is super friendly. This guy here, fantastic. Definitely come check it out. And actually just a little bit down from his shop is one of the best restaurants available in Tokyo at all. And that is this place here, Kiko, where you can listen to live Japanese Tsukara Jamisen. I'll link a video. So with Kiko over there and the Sensoji temple right there, there's another temple right here that has a beautiful bell, and if you ever come out to Asakusa for any of the festivals, this is a great place right here to pick up some of your festival gear. Now, there's no shortage of videos showcasing the temple, so we're gonna head over this way. So directly to the left of the temple, there's an entire little park hidden here. It's just beautiful. Now it's a little more crowded because of the sakura right now, but there's a little bridge here. It's got a little bit of a waterfall running through it, and on the other side there are koi in the pond, right down here. Now coming out of this little temple park, down this way is Hanayashiki, which is Japan's oldest theme park, and it's still active. And down this way, there's another covered arcade I want to show you guys. This is it right here. It also has one of these medompan shops, and although it's closed today, this is one of the best places in Asakusa to get kimonos, this Ogawa. There's also an entire shop here just for swords and weapons and ninja stuff and all that. And at night when all the people clear out, it is a beautiful spot to get some photos. Also, if we head over this way, there's a place that has been famously dubbed Vines Covered Restaurant Street. That's right. I want to give you a quick show of it. This is it here, and in the summer, when all these vines are fully green, this is a beautiful street to either just get some photos or come and have a drink at one of the local little bars or watering holes. Now coming out of the street will land you right beside the Hanayashiki theme park, and right over here there's a street called Hisago Dori, and there's a really cheap ramen restaurant in there I want to show you guys. So this is Hisago Dori right here, and the ramen shop is right at the entrance. Now to be honest, the ramen is really subpar, but it's only 320 yen. You can get a ticket at the vending machine and then just sit right there at the counter, or sometimes they put out a table. This covered arcade is also home to the Wired Hotel, which is a really nice and fancy place to stay in the area of Asakusa. As well as the Edo Traditional Craft Center, which used to be more of like a museum, but either way it's a cool place to check out if you like culture, and it's free to get in, so that's a thing. Just around the corner over here is the appropriately named Sakura Hostel, which is a really cheap place to stay in Asakusa, and actually this is my first time to ever see it with a sakura. And I just remember that the department store near the station where we first started actually has rooftop access. I forgot to show you that. Let me show you quickly. This is the rooftop area right here, and there's almost no people. Let me show you the view. So you can't really see it right now, but these sakura balls actually light up at night, and here we have a beautiful view of the river, and there's the golden poop. You laughing at the golden poop?
That's what I said when I saw it.
See, it's not just me. It's not just me. Okay, let's head back. So yeah, that's also another cool spot. Sorry, that one was a little bit out of order. And I should mention that this covered arcade is also home to a lot of old traditional Japanese kisaten or cafes, and a couple narrow back streets that are housed to several fairly good yakiniku restaurants. Like this one here. They're good when they're open, and also they're kind of pricey, so I wouldn't really recommend it, but they're good. But coming back out of the covered arcade, we're gonna head over to this street here, which lines up with the cover arcade that we were in before, and is also home to this place called 9 Hours, which is a really fancy, interesting, and new capsule hotel here in Asakusa. But perhaps just as interesting is what's going on down the street over here on a street called Hoppy Street, or this right here even. Up here we have the Richmond Hotel, and this shopping center called Marugoto Nippon, which has a lot of food and souvenirs and whatnot from around Japan. So if you can't make it to some prefectures, you can probably grab some stuff in here from that prefecture. But this street here is called Hoppy Street, and it's basically just an entire street of outdoor bars and restaurants. Like if you're looking to drink in Asakusa, this is the go-to place for a lot of people. It even breaks off into little side alleys. And as you come out of Hoppy Street, it lines up with one of my favorite streets here in Asakusa called Denpoin Dori, or Denpoin Street, which is by far one of the more beautiful streets in the area. Now if you turn around this way, there are some arcades over here. One of my favorites here is this Taito Station Game Center, and there are batting cages here in the Rocks Dome Game and Sports Center. They don't tend to be super excited to see the camera, but there's a lot of cool stuff in there. There's also another fairly cool game center right here, although I prefer the other one. And right around the corner from here is the Rocks Shopping Center, which is actually broken into two buildings, this one here and one over here. This one has like a Uniqlo, an Onsen, a Daiso 100 yen shop. This one over here has a sports field up on top, as well as a lot of great shops inside, including one of my favorite, a dagashi shop. Regular viewers will know how much I love dagashi. This is it right here. And for those of you who don't know, dagashi are like Japanese penny candies. A lot of the candies that you can buy in this shop are like 10 cents, 20 cents. They're just really cheap and really good. And for bubble tea lovers, this place is also home to Gongcha. Exiting the side of the shopping center actually brings us into that Shin Nakamise shopping arcade, the covered one, and turning the street brings us back to where we just were. And this street here is actually filled with history and culture. Like for example, this comedy theater right here, Bito Takeshi or Kitano Takeshi used to perform there, and here we have Asakusa's Don Quixote, which for those of you who don't know is basically just a giant multi-purpose shop that has everything fairly cheap. Also, there are two restaurants in here I really like. This one right here is kind of an all-you-can-eat place that has pretty much everything from Korean barbecue to sushi, cotton candy, and the like. And Caesarea, which is a really cheap family restaurant style Italian place. Now, just around the corner from that is probably one of the cheapest places to get a bento box in Tokyo. So right here is another station, the Tsukuba Express Asakusa Station. And right here is a bento shop that has bentos for as low as 250 yen. Also, this place is open 24 hours and has giant onigiri. These ones right here. When my little brother Alexander visited Tokyo, he actually bought one of those and ate it for a video. It was a fun video on food, so I'm gonna link it up here. And for those of you who want to buy stuff like Japanese knives and kitchenware or those plastic food samples, this street here, as well as the street that it connects with called Kappabashi Dori, is just filled with that stuff. As well as just around the corner down the street this way, there's an escape room game, there's a Denny's that you can have breakfast or lunch at. There's no shortage of stuff to do here in Asakusa. That was a lot of stuff. What did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy this concept to introducing the area? I'd love to know. And while I feel like this doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of everything that there is to show in Asakusa, hopefully it gives you a little bit of a feel for what the area has to offer if you're coming out here. I don't even know how many things this was. Unfortunately, I'm not really going to be able to add like Google Maps links to everything down below because that would probably take me longer than making the video. But if you enjoyed this one and you'd like me to do another one of these, let me know. Maybe I could even do a part 2 on Asakusa, who knows. After 10 years in this area, I'm really glad to be able to call this place home, and I'm kind of sad to be leaving the area, but I'm glad that I got to do this with you guys today. If you enjoyed this one, it would mean the world to me if you would give it a little love, leave me something in the comments, and either way, you guys know I will see you again real soon.